What if I just told you that the US spent $40 billion rescuing a foreign country during a government shutdown? We got a lot to talk about today. Welcome to another episode of SHINANCE. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. All this helps the channel and brings me back to talk about topics like we're going to be talking about today. Now, this is just crazy. 40 billion. The US just did what they call a currency swap, and they don't need any approval from anybody. No Congress approval, no nothing. And the way that this is able to happen, there's something that the US has called an emergency exchange fund, and it's been put in place for a long time and pretty much is there to help foreign countries. It's technically not using our taxpayer dollars, but if this investment goes south, because Argentina's bonds. All right, here's the real. All right, let's keep it honest with everybody. Word on the street is there's some politicians that bought Argentina bonds that are going down right now. They're losing billions of dollars. They were hoping that the economy would go up. It didn't, and now the U.S. is coming in to bail it out, even though they don't call it a bailout because they're using this exchange fund that doesn't need Congress approval. So if the Argentina dollar doesn't turn around, then the taxpayers will be losing out on money. If it turns around, it'll be a good investment made by the exchange fund. So, and the reason why it's all mixy and this is what the streets say is because the people that are in control of the Treasury have dealings with these bonds, allegedly. So do your own research, as always. I think that's just kind of crazy. We're bailing out foreign countries. But at the same time, we have to compete with China. This is what new money in this new world looks like. It's having power with other countries. If we can save Venezuela, they have resources that we need, lithium, gas. If we can turn their country around, that would be great. If we can help them get there financially, that would be great. And it looks like we still have power as a country to help the developing countries. It could give us some more power around the world. So I see both sides. I think it's just a crazy time to be dishing out 40 billion, but what do I know? Let's talk about some stuff happening here in the US, right here in New York City. JPMorgan just opened up their new billion-dollar headquarters in New York, 60 stories, said to be one of the most expensive, most expensive skyscrapers built in New York in a long time. I think they wasted over $5 billion. It's going to show you how dominant JPMorgan is, how much money they have. They're closing their second headquarters that's right across the street to do some more repairs. So clearly, JPMorgan has been making some great investments, great bets, because they're spending a ton of money on new buildings, right? When we're heading into a recession. Very interesting. I love it. Now, there's the most important topic of the night. Even though I'd love to talk about JPMorgan all day long, is China building what they call a gold corridor. Now, you're going to have to do your own research on this because there's just so much information that I can't tie everything into this video. But if you didn't know, China's been playing a key role in these gold rising prices. As y'all can see, gold has risen even from this year, from 2,700 to 4,000. And China is one of the key reasons that is happening. They are trying to separate themselves from the dollar, and they're trying to build what they call a gold corridor. They're trying to back the yuan by gold and then have everybody just forget about US dollars. It's just another strike for the battle, for the war of just world dominance. And so the way that they plan to do this, they're going to have these world vaults, what they call them, and they're going to be measuring and they're going to be growing these vaults. So there's going to be new ones being built. I think they're building one in Saudi Arabia, South Asia, South Africa. They have some in place. And I believe this is the Shanghai Gold Exchange fund that's doing this out of China. And pretty much everything's going to be backed by gold and wands if you trade with them, and they're not going to need US dollars, and that's what they're trying to do. I think this is going to create like some type of gold crazy, probably one of the craziest gold heists that we've seen in our entirety. Because here's the thing between modern and old civilization. As a modern person, I don't want to be chunking around gold and hoping that this vault is secured and no one's going to rob it and move all this heavy tons of gold. You know, China has allegedly about over 2,000 tons. Some people are saying they have more than that they haven't reported. They've definitely been publicly buying a lot of gold to let everybody know, yeah, we doing it. So they're trying to make noise in the gold space for sure, to let everybody know that the US dollar is out and gold and yuan is in, China's in. But of course, we're making our strides, we're making our moves to kind of battle and finagle. I just don't see how, I mean, I get from a civilization standpoint how gold can back everything and people will lean towards that, but we're just in a new age. We're in a new modern. Get some Bitcoin, China. Get some Bitcoin. What do I know? What do I know? Do your own research, y'all. Let's talk about this severe warning happening right now for the US economy. You know, some companies are spending money, and then we got companies like the great old Amazon announcing 30,000 people being laid off at the corporate level workforce. This is the highest amount of corporate workforce layoffs that the company has seen in its history. This is just not a good time for US companies, and not even because they're not making money, because they're going to use this time to lay off people. If they can still grow and lay off people, that's what US businesses are doing right now. It's an ugly, sad, you know, truth. And, you know, a lot of people are going to blame AI. No, these companies are just taking advantage of kind of like a downturn. And the US is known to do that. They make the best of the worst scenarios. So these companies are just prepping for doomsday, I guess, because profits are going to continue to skyrocket as we go into the holidays. I will only assume. Don't buy Amazon, I guess, right? If you really support Amazon, or if you really support people's jobs, don't buy Amazon no more. Buy Walmart, you know, buy local. That's my suggestion. What do I know though? All right, and then lastly, the last most important topic, the King of Kings. The King of Kings just cried wolf today, and he used his board member to cry wolf. Tesla's board member announced today, you know, as the stock is at all-time highs, that if the shareholders don't approve this $1 trillion pay package for Elon, that we may lose Elon Musk. Wow. That's a crazy threat to the shareholders. Pretty much they're saying, it was like a statement made that like, if you want Elon to take this company to the next level of where it needs to be, then you need to be on board with this pay package for Elon Musk. Elon Musk doubled down by, you know, retweeting it. And it's an interesting place for Tesla. I'd be interested to see if the shareholders deny this and if he actually really leaves, or it's just like a bluff. I don't think he's gonna really get up and leave. I think that this company, it's a lot. It's a lot of great information. There's a lot of technology. I don't think he'd just walk away from the company. But I think this is a nice, good bluff to scare the shareholders. Let's see how the stock does in the near future. Shout out to Elon, always strong. He just put all the shareholders in a headlock and just hit them like that. But what do I know? I appreciate y'all for watching SHINANCE. Until next week, do y'all research and please pay down some of y'all debt. This is the time to be paying down debt, y'all. All right, I'll see y'all next week.